What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Strung Out. And we're back with a tune called Crossroads. I briefly mentioned at the end of the last reaction, I like it a great deal. Crossroads are places of intersection, places where you have to make decisions about which direction you want to go, which can lead to different destinations. Now, fair to say, I would point out that implicitly, you've already made decisions and there's a reason you're at this particular crossroads. There's a history implied leading up, your life and your journey did not begin suddenly at a crossroads. So I think it's an interesting quirk that you've already made decisions, you've already gone through earlier crossroads, and now you might arrive at another, but that is informed by, where you've been and how you got here. Nevertheless, a new crossroads leads to different possibilities and again different directions. It could be that you want to assess whether one is clearly distinguishably better than another, or whether they seem mutually undesirable. Perhaps it's about making a turn that you've made choices and you've followed a particular direction for a while, but now you feel it's not working, so you have to try to go on a different road and turn instead of continuing straight on in your path. Obviously, all these things could be notable metaphors in anybody's life, but depending on where you've been and how you're feeling as you arrive at a crossroads, your decisions about which direction you want to go will be heavily influenced by that. So I really wonder what there will be to say about it. Again, I used to have this album, so it's possible when it starts I may recognize it, at least in part. But as I look at the title, it doesn't come back to me. So let's listen. This is Strung Out. The track is Crossroads, and it's from the 1998 album Twisted by Design. Doesn't immediately come back, but it's their sound. Definitely talking about what it's been up to now and how now is different. Fast, I love it. You still going? It. Wow, I love that. It was like, it almost felt like it was stuck in a loop. Yeah, again, fantastic musicianship, the speed, the precision, the stops, the starts, or the change of tempos, I should say. And yeah, it's not one that comes back, other than maybe just that, the not so much the heavier, sort of instrumental jam near the end, but the just the main like super fast tempo of that. That's kind of what I remember of this album overall. So maybe like, in a very general way, there is some memory of this, but ultimately it's one where the specifics did not come back. Like I said, what I caught from the lyrics, we're talking about that things used to be a certain way, and specifically it seems in regard to music that it used to actually, be a release or provide us with some form of engagement and something worthwhile. But now it sounds like things aren't that way anymore. But it also sounds like it could be about a relationship that, like, I don't have anything to offer you anymore, and I'm gonna have to go a different way because this isn't working. It's not what it used to be, and we're lying to ourselves if we're saying that it is, or that somehow things are still what they used to be. So again, it almost made me think like, it could be about someone else in the band, or it could be at the very least about what it's like to be in a band, and like you have to keep finding that creativity, you have to keep finding that desire to make music, and the moment that you start phoning it in or doing it because, oh well, we got a contract or whatever, then it's not going to be what it was. It's not going to give you that same enjoyment or cathartic release or feeling like you're conveying your ideas via an art form. So I feel like it could be on some level band related, but as I said, I feel like you could also read what I heard as part of a relationship. And again, it sounds like it is about making a turn. It's like, let's not keep on going straight, because that would be under the assumption that things are as they used to be, and that's not what it seems to be now. So let's make a clean break, you and I, whether that's you and another person, whether that's you and your former self, whether that's you and someone specifically, your bandmates or something, and they're like, hey, we need to like go clear our heads and do something different because this isn't what it used to be. So yeah, I feel like it could be any of those things. Let's look at the actual lyrics. This time I did cue them up again without looking, because I try not to do that before I actually listen. But this time I don't have to type around. Okay, so here we go. I find myself here once again under clouds of indecision. I did hear that indecision line at first, so then it's like, at a crossroads, maybe you might have conviction, but I think in a lot of cases, the implication is that it's not clear which way you should go. So already I feel like that's, thematically relevant. Reflections looking right through me. I can't believe the lies we tell ourselves. Definitely heard that. The music used to be everything. The music used to heal, but business soon becomes reality, and nothing left inside is real. That authenticity is gone. Dysfunction's all that we see. True. Allow my best to see this through. Got nothing left to give you. Now I gotta find a better way. Yeah, turned against each other with the games we all like to play. I heard that, and again, that's where it's like, okay, so this, it could be just a very general you and another person who used to be in a relationship of one kind or another, but now it's not working. It could be about, again, like bands or like people in a joint creative enterprise. But yeah, turned against each other with all the games we like to play. Looking straight ahead, it's hard to see things eye to eye. And if you're not seeing eye to eye, then you disagree about principles or fundamentals. And if you disagree about those, then specific examples will always tend to be interpreted differently, because the starting points, the axioms you're working from, to speak logically, will dictate that. So not at all what it used to be, something that I can't deny, and now I leave it up to you. Allow my best to see this through. Got nothing left to give you, now I gotta find a better way before I lose another part of me. So not just, you don't feel it's good to continue, but you feel that if you do continue the way you've been, you will continue to erode or wither or to lose parts of yourself that, perhaps used to characterize who you were. So I feel like it's pretty much running in the direction I thought, with some extra contours that I didn't hear. But again, shout out to Paulie, really do appreciate it as we get close to the end of the proper albums on the anthology, like Volume 1 collection. That we do still have the Skinny Years. I'm wondering, there's still some time to think about this, but I'm wondering when we get to the end of this, do we continue forward, because there are more albums that he has sent me, Or do we go back as I initially was thinking and do the skinny ears? I'm open to either ideas or either notion. Again, we have weeks before we need to make a decision in that regard, but either way, the next tune will be Paper Walls, which don't sound very strong, sturdy, or protective, so we'll see what that's all about. Let me know what you think of this one. I will see you then. Peace.